What's up, guys? I forgot the intro. Let's do the intro. Never mind, let's skip the intro. What's up, guys? How is everybody doing today? Get this thing scooched over here a little bit. There we go. There we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. This is raw meat, raw beef, 100% grass-fed beef, raw 100% grass-fed beef fat, 100% grass-fed beef liver, 100% grass-fed beef heart. All non-baxed. And I'm about to eat it for lunch, so come along with me now. Join me. Start with the heart. With my trusty shears. Shears, knife. What's the difference, right? As soon as those dogs hear these shears clipping, they know what's up. It's been dry aging for about a day or so in my fridge. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Little beef heart. Very good, very good. Love me some beef heart, man. It's pretty good when you age it, too. Just throw it on a rack in your fridge for a few days. Gets those flavors a little intensified. So, anybody that's new to the stream here, I welcome you. I've been eating raw meat for 4.5 years. It'll be 5 years this summer. Every day. For 99% of my meals. And I'm feeling extremely healthy. And I highly recommend this diet to anybody that is looking to enhance their life, their energy, their mental state, their mental clarity. This is the way to do it. If you want to detoxify your body, clean your body out, this is the way to do it. If you want to get strong, that's the way to do it, man. Welcome, guys. Daniel says, what do I think about raw milk and raw honey? Love it. Drink raw milk every morning. Raw milk with 6 raw eggs and raw honey inside of like a milkshake. Okay, and he says, I remember watching your videos back in 2018. You look amazing. Thanks, man. Yeah, I've gone through quite the transformation since 2018, man. I was pot smoking, coffee drinking, junk food eating, little heathen. Got my diet in order, and everything else kind of fell into place. Do I ever make my own cheese? I have. It's a lot of work, and it is quite the art form. You need a lot of time and a lot of dedication to make good cheese. But yes, I've made my own cheese, and it turned out really good. But it's really not, it really wasn't like any cheaper than just buying it. Because it takes a lot of product and a lot of time. Any tips on how to grow social media following? Just be authentic and be either very entertaining or informative. But ultimately, you want to be authentic. That's what's going to get you followers. So don't try to be like every other social media page. Try to do something different. That's what's going to get you attention. And don't try to sell a whole bunch of shit, because people don't like that either. And you're not going to get an authentic following if you're just selling a bunch of crap. The only way to get really a truly authentic following is to not sell anything and just really be yourself. And people will gravitate towards you if they like you and start following you. And also a good idea is to like regularly post. You don't want to take big breaks off. You want to constantly keep stuff up there, but you also don't want to overpost either. So there's kind of a balance there. My sweet spot is on Instagram. At least I post maybe twice a week. Some people post every day. I think that's too much. It's not good for people either to be looking at stuff every day. Isaac says, yesterday I was eating tripa de leche, which apparently is beef small intestine. I was wondering if it was okay to have eaten the gooey substance inside, and I looked it up, it's undigested leftovers. I think so. I mean, I don't see why it would be bad, as long as what they were eating wasn't bad, right? If they were eating clean food, then what's inside the intestine shouldn't be bad. What's up, Nick? Oh man, I knew I was missing something. I knew something was off, man. Hang on a sec. Sorry, everybody. Gotta get the jams, dude. Why do I think honey is good? It's 95% sugar. Yeah, but it's not refined sugar. It's like a natural sugar. And I've done experiments with honey where I've eaten 2 gallons of honey in a month and a half, man. And I did not change body type, structure. Didn't do anything for my energy negatively. Didn't put on any weight. I can tell you, man, I've done experiments with eating large amounts of honey every day for days and days and days and days and days and weeks and months, and it does nothing bad to you. It's very good. It's got a lot of enzymes, which help naturally digest it. It's a pretty annoying song there. Chopin. Yeah, it's a lot of enzymes though. Is it fine to eat Costco bulk ground beef raw? Yes. Your best bet is to get grass-fed, just because you don't want chemicals in there, but you're not going to get sick from grocery store beef, dude. I've eaten tons of it raw, never had an issue. You guys got scissors yet, man? These scissors are the shit. This is the worst Chauvin song I've ever heard in my life. Let's do another one. There we go. Now we're jamming. Thoughts on eating raw bile? I've eaten bile with Derek. Probably help out your digestive enzymes a little bit. Help you digest food. Look at this piece of fat I got here. Nice looking fat, huh? Nice and yellow and creamy. It's like cheese. Darius says, I've been eating raw eggs before playing chess and it increases my mental performance massively. Awesome, man. I wish I had someone to play chess with. I love chess. Yeah, honey's awesome, man. Honey is actually sweeter than sugar. When you do like cookie recipes and you want to exchange out honey for sugar, you need like half the honey that you do with sugar. TD says, do you catch colds rarely? Yeah, pretty rare, but maybe once a year. I actually got a flu last year. A bad flu that knocked me out for about a week. This year, I got a cold about 2 weeks ago. Seems like springtime is when I get mine. Well, end of winter. But once a year. Daniel is asking if Derek drinks raw milk and eats raw honey. I'm not sure on the honey. I know he doesn't do any dairy. He was a great guy. Am I still eating high meat? No, I don't. I mean, I have high meat that's been in my fridge for like, or my cupboard for like 3 years. Every like 6 months I'll pull a piece out. But I just don't. I like it, but I just always forget about it. And it's one of those things that preferably you should eat by itself. And the only time I ever think about it is while I'm eating. And I found that it doesn't digest very well with other foods. I found that actually with most foods, they're best eaten alone. I don't like mixing a whole bunch of stuff together. This is like the most I'll ever mix together. This is very unusual for me because this was actually some like leftover liver, leftover heart. This is the last I have of this, and then I have like a little bit of beef. But usually I'll just do like beef, a little chunk of liver and some fat. Or I'll do like some heart, a little chunk of liver, and then a bunch of fat. But I never do like 3 different kinds of things. This is really an anomaly. What's up, Daniel? Isaac says, oh man, I did buy cow udder, and it also tastes like, looks like cheese, pretty chewy and fatty. Cow udder, huh? I've never had that. What's up, Miklas? Hope everybody got their notifications today. I had a bunch of people sign up for the notification list. If any of you guys want me to email you before every live stream to let you know, I will. Because YouTube is not very good at notifying people a lot of times that live streams are on. So if you want me to notify you by email, email me at 88668@protonmail.com. And also, if you want a consultation, email me. You can set something up. What's up, David? KNE says, I came from your email notification, so it's working. Good deal. Awesome. Yeah, there is online chess, KNE. I appreciate that. Thanks for the sub, Eckert Energy. Yeah, there is online chess. Maybe I should look into that. It's just, you know, it's not the same, man. You know what I mean? I like the chessboard. I like the pieces. I like moving them. I like the competition with the other person. I like winning, rubbing it in. Do I eat any milk products? Yeah, I eat everything. Every dairy product you can imagine, I eat raw. Pretty regularly. Though I'm switching from butter to fat, because Miller's Farm, their butter is like 20 bucks with shipping now. So I'm going to probably pass on that and just go with beef fat. What's my favorite fruit? Probably, I don't know if you want to count berries, but cherries are probably my ultimate favorite. Then oranges. And then, peaches. No, kiwi, then peaches. Pineapple. I like grapes. Thoughts on banks collapsing? I wouldn't worry about it. It's not going to affect us. This type of stuff really only affects the millionaires and billionaires. If you got 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 in the bank, you're going to be okay. It's going to be most likely insured. If you got 10, 20 million in the bank, there might be some concern, but you should be investing that into land and things like that anyways, you know? But it's not going to affect us to the extent that it's going to affect the people higher up, which could eventually affect us down the road. But I think if some kind of collapse happens, we'll have plenty of time. Right now, money, cash is king. Because credit, it's getting so expensive to borrow money. So cash is king, man. And you're getting some pretty good interest rates in savings accounts right now. So take advantage of that. How did I make my transition to natural human diet from unnatural diet? First thing I did was quit eating bread. And that was like life-changing for me. Which led me to believe I was either celiac or non-celiac gluten sensitive. So I quit eating gluten, and that changed everything. And then I decided, well, if I feel so good after quitting bread, what if I quit everything like grains and rice and oatmeal and all that crap? So I quit all that stuff. Felt pretty good. And then I just said, well, I might as well just go to the carnivore diet. So then I ate cooked carnivore for about a month. And then I discovered autogenous and raw meats. And after about a month of cooked carnivore, I started eating raw meat every day. And I never quit, man, because I felt so good. And it was just, yeah, it seemed like intuitively the obvious correct diet and most healthy diet you could possibly eat. Thoughts on Ray Peat? I haven't looked too deep into his stuff, but I've kind of glanced through it. And I'll be straight up honest. Something about Ray Peat's protocols don't sit right with me. I don't really understand it. It doesn't seem intuitive. I think Autogenous Wonderplants' diet is a million times better. I see people on Ray Peat's diet drinking like Coca-Colas and drinking like orange juice all day and stuff. And I mean, maybe a little Coca-Cola with sugar isn't bad for you every once in a while, or like a little bit of orange juice. I'm not saying it's terrible. I drink orange juice sometimes. It's very rare, but I do. But I don't know, man. His diet protocols just seem kind of goofy to me. But this diet just resonates with me perfectly. Who knows, man? Maybe different diets work better for certain people. Maybe because I'm like a Northern European, Scandinavian descent man. This is what my ancestors ate primarily. We didn't eat a lot of fruits and sugars and berries and stuff like that. We ate a lot of just raw meat. So maybe that's why I like this diet so much. When's the next video with Derek coming out? I don't know, man. We gotta set something up. We're gonna hang out. He's gonna come up and visit me in a couple weeks. We're gonna hang out, and I don't know if we'll have time to do a video, but Daniel says, thanks for the answer. Is there a transition phase for the gut to digest the casein? It feels that the cheese and raw milk is hard on my gut. It's possible, yeah. You can also try just very small amounts at first. People have had luck with that, especially with raw milk. If you're having a hard time with it, start with like very, very small amounts, like an ounce, and build your way up. But it's very possible you have some sort of leaky gut, and until your gut heals, primarily with raw meat and the raw milk, you're gonna maybe have some sensitivities to the casein. And you could also try experimenting with different types of cow milk, like Jersey milk, Guernsey milk, or you could go experiment around with goat milk. A lot of people have better luck with that. K&E says, if anyone's interested in primal, start keto first, then carnivore, then primal. That's pretty much the way to do it. Let's see. Situnet says, have you heard about the Tartarians and the free energy discovered by Nikola Tesla? I have heard about it. Yeah, I haven't looked into it deeply though, but I have looked into it or heard about it. Darius says, do you ever struggle to get enough calories? I've removed milk recently, as I have found I have more energy without it, but harder to get calories in now. Yeah, how much fat are you eating? Are you eating a lot of butter and beef fat? Because that's where you're going to get most of your calories, is through fat. It's okay to cut milk out, but you got to make sure you get enough fat in through butter or beef fat. Nick says, does the explosive diarrhea happen when going raw carnivore like it does with cooked? No. No, I think when you just go carnivore period, you have like a diarrhea phase, and then it's just over. It doesn't get more intense when you go raw. Isaac says, gotta eat twice the fat for the calories. Exactly. Javier says, where and when can we watch the TV episode done with you and your fam? You know, I don't know, man. It still hasn't been released. But keep an eye out on the Learning Channel for the new season of Strange Addictions, because I will be on there. Unless they deleted the episode. But they paid me for it. It should be out by now, man. I mean, we filmed it in August. You know? But it takes a long time to put together stuff. Do I have white tongue? No, I do not. But I have in the past. Before I started this diet, I had that. Is quality important when you choose raw meat? Yes and no. Obviously, you want the best quality grass-fed foods. But it's not going to make you sick. Like food poisoning sick if you don't choose that. But for the most part, at least in America, I don't know how different countries work, but at least in America, everything, all the meat is like pretty regulated. So it's really hard to like get meat in America and get like food poisoning from it. It's really rare. Everything is pretty strict. David says, thoughts on conspiracy theories like some enlightened natural humans who are dominating us. What do you think? I haven't heard that one. I'm not too into the materialistic conspiracy theories. At least, I'm not saying they're not true, but I'm not really interested in those as much as I am. I'm into more like the demonic and angelic realms, spiritual realms. I'm more of a spiritual guy. So I believe more in like good and evil, and I believe there's evil forces and good forces dominating us. There's a battle over our souls between angels and devils, and I think that's what controls a lot of what goes on in this realm. Some people might call that a conspiracy theory, but I know things like that to be true according to my experiences. Daniel says, thanks again for the answer. Our Sverige Gotis ever did a video together. What's your opinion about him? Sverige. Are you asking if I ever did a video with Sverige? No, I didn't, huh? What's my opinion on him? He's right about a lot of stuff. Some stuff he might not be right, but I've never met him, so I can't really give you an opinion about his character or anything. But his videos are a little black-pilled for me. So I like to keep things positive, keep things light, and give people solutions rather than just try to convince everybody that the world is ending and everybody is retarded and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't think that's a very good message. Varen Bear says, dude, what's the deal with parasites? I freeze my stuff for 7 days, minus 4 degrees, as people say online, but still, what's your opinion on parasites? In my opinion, parasites only thrive in a degenerated, malnourished body in the first place. And they're here to work symbiotically with our bodies and feed off of dead tissue and things that our bodies can't normally discard through bacteria. So in my opinion, I don't know everything. This is just the theories that I've read that make the most sense. Is that if you have a parasite, it's serving some sort of function in your body. And I think that goes along with the whole bacteria, virus, and parasite theory in general, where they want you to fear nature and fear everything, fear your food, fear everything that's naturally in your body, that working symbiotically. It makes the most sense to me, man. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, if you don't believe viruses, if you don't believe viruses were sent here by some like evil monster in space to kill everybody, that to me sounds like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. That there's little tiny viruses flying around in there trying to kill everybody. That's very similar to the idea that there's little tiny worms in all of our food that's trying to kill everybody. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That's not how, if you believe in God, that's not how God would have designed a realm. And there's probably a lot more to it than they're telling us. And they're just trying to freak everybody out so they can sell you vaccines and sell you parasite medication and sell you antibiotics, man. That's my general take on all this shit. Darius, thanks for the super chat, man. It's very generous of you. Thanks for the advice. You're welcome anytime. That's what I'm here for. What's up, Zulu Alpha Charlie? He says, so parasites are like internal maggots? That's an interesting idea. That's what makes the most sense to me. Like, people get hung up on parasites, but then again, they'll think that bacteria is okay for you, and then viruses are also like a natural detoxification agent. So if you believe bacteria is healthy for you and it's in your body working, and if you believe viruses are a natural detoxifying solvent produced by your cells, then how can you believe the worms inside your body are not the same thing? You know? Nick says, what do you think about people who claim to feel better or have cured their disease after parasite cleanses? I haven't looked into it, man. I don't even really know what the protocols are for parasite cleanses and stuff like that. But it's very possible what they're actually doing is they are removing whatever they're taking is removing the toxin or the dead tissue in their body that the parasites are actually feeding off of. And so that in turn removes the toxicity from their body, which is why the parasites are there. The toxicity is going to make you feel like shit. The parasites aren't. What's up, Ellie Dan? Daniel says, how many eggs do you eat per day? Do you only eat yolks or do you also eat white? See if I can put the chat on here. Just a sec here, guys. There we go. I eat the whole egg. Always have. Fair embarrasses. Very well said. Thank you. No problem, man. Artur says, I got COVID, quote unquote, and everybody in my family got fever after that. I've had similar experiences. I get sick. My fiance gets sick. It's probably bioresonance. Our body has an ability to detect when other people are going through natural detoxifications. So you're toxic, your body or your cell produces a virus to help clean it out. Someone else's body can detect through bioresonance or magnetic fields that you're producing a viral detoxification, and so they in turn start producing the same virus, which is why it seems why the illusion of the transmission of a disease from one person to the other is out there. It's not a disease transmission. It is it's a syncing. Our bodies are syncing together. And yeah, Nick says, just like how women all sync up with their cycles. That's exactly what it is, dude. K&E says, I like to call being sick an update to my system. It is an upgrade, man. Because after you get sick, like you feel like you have a new lease on life after that. Nicholas says, do you think it's natural to be in a relationship? I do. That I do. I just got in a committed relationship and I'm getting married, and it feels very natural to have a wife in my house cooking for me. Well, cooking my potatoes. Cleaning for me, preparing my meals, and eventually raising my children, God willing. How else do you start a family, man? Start a tribe. Logan says, thoughts on 23andMe for determining ancestry and descent. I did that. You know, I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for 23andMe. I know everybody's obsessed with, oh, they're going to steal your DNA and they're going to like clone you, or they're going to like whatever. But I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for 23andMe, because they did a test. They do a celiac test on you, and I had one of the genes for celiac disease, and so that just piqued my interest, and so that's what got me to quitting bread. So I got a 23andMe test done. I quit eating bread, and then it all escalated from there, and now I'm eventually eating raw meat. It can give you some insight into some things that you had not considered before. Congrats on companionship, love, and partnership has many advantages, few drawbacks when you find the right person. Yeah. I waited till I was 40, man. Guys in your 30s and late 20s, if you think you're never gonna meet the right chick, stay positive, man. She'll come around. Do I do vegetable juices? No. For me, it's just a time thing. I'm a busy guy, man. I don't have time to juice. I never really did vegetable juices. I mean, on this diet, I didn't really feel the need to do it. But when I was on the standard American diet, eating junk food, I used to do lots of vegetable juices. Which is kind of weird, but I know it sounds weird, but that's what I did. Towards the end of my like junk food eating phase in my life, I started doing veg juices and it felt so good. It was like medicine, man, to my body. Like imagine just eating like junk for decades and then all of a sudden you experience like organic green juices. It was like all those enzymes and micronutrients and all that stuff. It was just like medicine to my body. But once I switched to raw primal and I got rid of the junk food, I don't really feel like I need the veg juices. Like I don't need anything in there. I can just get it all from my diet, you know? What do I think about apple cider vinegar? I like it, man. I don't really use it a whole lot. Like, I'm a very simple guy, man. I don't like taking in too many different things during the day. I don't like putting a whole bunch of different stuff in my stomach every day. You know what I mean? So, I just eat like beef and fat and eggs and milk. That's like what I eat every day. Maybe some cheese periodically. Maybe some butter. But I like making, in the summertime, springtime, I like making apple cider vinegar pickles. That's mainly where I get my ACV in. Would I recommend juicing if that particular person had the time? Yeah. Yeah, sure. I would. If I had the time, if I was like retired, I would probably get into it a little bit. Maybe with some like celery or cucumber or something like that. Primal Spirit says, I think the healthier you become, the less vegetable juices you need. That's been my experience. Because like I said, when I was basically sick, dude. I was slamming these 18-ounce green juices. I mean, I used to chop up all sorts of stuff into it. Carrots and celery and cucumbers and apples and lemons and ginger and parsley and cilantro, and like I put all this shit in this green juice, man. I used to make some serious green juice back in the day, and I drank that for a while, probably like a year or two, and I just remember it was like unbelievable to my body, almost instantly. Nick says, what's the single best thing raw meat has done for your health? It's a good question. It's always a combination of stuff. I mean, it's the raw milk, the raw meat, the raw liver, the raw egg. It's like everything has just healed my body insanely. But for the most part, it has given me like mental clarity and mental sharpness that I did not have before. Or maybe I had at one point in my life before I eventually developed like brain fog, like permanent brain fog. But I'm getting like my mental sharpness back and my clarity and my ability to devote more attention to conversation, things like that. Mood stabilization is a big one, even though sometimes I still get a little angry. But that happens. What's my favorite cow muscle part to eat? Muscle part? I like the leaner cuts, to be honest with you, personally. Do I think there's something about vitamin A toxicity? Maybe. I don't know. I do know that balance is always the key. And if you're concerned about it, then just eat little bits of liver at a time. Don't eat big chunks of liver. You'll get the same nutrients. Primal Spirit says, watching this while drinking celery, carrot, apple juice is delicious. Oh, I bet, man. The other thing is I don't really find myself very like thirsty that much unless it's like summer. And I'm sweating working outside a lot, and then I'll just make lemonade, raw lemonade. So I'll juice lemons in the summer like crazy. We make so much lemonade, man. Like I'll spend like a couple $100 a month on lemonade. That's how much raw lemonade I make. Would I say my testosterone libido increased on the diet? Oh yeah, for sure. You can just look at my videos, man. Look at my very first videos on like it's called the Natural Human Diet Archive, where you can go back to my live streams that I did way before. Like you can tell definitely my testosterone and you can't tell my libido increased, but my testosterone for sure. But yeah, and a lot of that had to do with also like quitting weed. I think weed was crushing my testosterone as well. So it's not always just food, man. It's the whole cascade of effects and the pathway that you start eventually going down once you change your diet. It opens up your mind to a lot of other stuff that you're putting in your body. Did I see your comment about Corona, Barum? Yeah, I did. I didn't really understand it. You said if Corona had not happened, people would have quickly questioned what was going on in their environment. I think you meant to say people wouldn't have quickly questioned, because I think Corona opened up a lot of people's eyes. But I'm not 100% sure what you were saying there. Is there an organ I haven't tried? Let's see. I don't know, maybe like an appendix or something? It's like I've had all the main ones. I've had spleen, pancreas, liver, kidney, heart, brain, eyes. I think I've had lung. I'm not really sure. J. Young Gun says, why do you think some cooked carnivore dieters claim salt supplementation is crucial? Because they are cooking all the salt out of their food. If you don't cook the salt out of your food and you eat it raw, you don't need salt. I don't put salt on anything. They're eating dried, burnt up steaks. It's got no salt in it. This food all has salt in it. All my raw milk and raw eggs have salt in it. Sodium. Mikhail says, what do you think about eating Celtic Himalayan salt? It's not necessary. If you eat raw meat, raw milk, and raw eggs, you don't need any extra sodium. Nick says, I've heard you say that you don't use salt, but do you feel different when you eat fresh meat versus meat that has hung? I think we're electrical beings. The no salt thing still blows my mind. Well, I'm still getting sodium, though. I mean, you got to look into salt versus sodium, and salt is like a general term for like a mineral that's been bound with another mineral to create like a salt. Salt is like a chemistry term. It's like a general chemistry term to describe like various elements that are bound together to create like rocks. There's all sorts of salts, you know? There's like food salt, and there's bath salts, and there's like, you know, you can make salts out of all sorts of stuff. But if you're talking about sodium, which is generally what's in the salt that we eat, I get tons of sodium through my food. And that's the idea, is you want to get the sodium through your food rather than through a rock. Do I smell all right? I do, yeah. According to my fiance, she loves my smell. Especially because I don't use deodorant. So I have like a little bit of a sweet, musky, manly smell going on in there. And real women find that highly attractive. So if you want to attract a real woman, stop using deodorant. But make sure your diet's in check. Because otherwise you're going to smell like crap. Matthias says, do you ever consider to fix your biomechanic, posture, and breathing mechanics? This is besides diet a huge one. I haven't looked into like doing that specifically, but I do practice mewing, where my tongue is pushed forward in my mouth, and I also sleep flat on the floor, which I think has done wonders for my posture and my skeletal frame. Primal Spirit says, weed is so harmful on a physical and spiritual level. I escaped from reality and it effed me up. Yeah, it can burn you, man. You gotta be careful with that stuff. You gotta be careful with drugs, man. Drugs and alcohol can invite demons in. And it can pull your mind into unconsciousness. Chrysanthemum says, or Christian says, so add salt if you cook meat? Probably. Yeah. Probably a good idea. Age 4 Wen says, did you feel that lemonade is wasting your teeth? I was drinking lemonade from 3 lemons, no water added, for a few days and felt my teeth became extremely sensitive and wore out, so I stopped. Yeah, I actually did have that experience, man. I might chill out on the lemonade this year because of that. I'm glad you mentioned that because I totally forgot about that. Yeah, my teeth were getting sensitive. I wonder if drinking lemonade every day is not a good idea. Might have to take some breaks. Gus says, would you eat an iron rock or would you eat heme iron? Common sense. Yep. Yeah, I can't see your comments about 5G. They're probably banning them. They banned a whole video of mine on 5G. Why is sleeping on the floor good for me, and do you sleep with a pillow? I do use a pillow. But why is it good for you? Because it straightens out your airways and your diaphragm so you can get more oxygen to your brain. And then also I think it's better for your posture, your skeletal system, and your muscles. And I just get way deeper sleep on the floor. J Young Gun says, I always understood salt to be NaCl, sodium chloride. Sodium, we need the chloride, not so much. Yeah, if you look this up, if you look up like salt though, there's like potassium salts and all sorts of stuff, dude. Yeah, it says salt is a mineral composed primarily of sodium chloride, a chemical compound belonging to the larger class of salts. Salt in the form of a natural crystalline mineral is known as rock salt. see. I'm just looking up different kinds of salts here. Production. I don't think that's a very good explanation there, Wikipedia. Maybe I'm wrong. Types of salts. Chemistry. Yeah, here we go. Salt. Chemistry. If you look that up on Wikipedia, it just is a crazy rabbit hole, man. So, yeah, here's all the different salts. Like, salt exists in many colors, which arise either from their constituent anions, cations, or solvates. For example, sodium chromate is yellow, potassium dichromate is orange, cobalt nitrate is red. These are all salts. Copper sulfate, potassium permanganate, nickel chloride, sodium chloride, magnesium sulfate, heptahydrate. These are all salts, you know what I mean? So it's just like when people talk about salt, it gets super confusing, man. Anyways, we're kind of splitting hairs here. Zulu Alpha Charlie says, I found my shoes or sandals no longer have a musty smell. Interesting how the body runs clean on good food. Yeah, you're right, man. Mine don't smell either. That's interesting. I never actually thought about that. Main character says, I assume you don't need any supplements as pills? Correct. No supplements. Primal Spirit says, getting my permanent retainer under my teeth removed. Do you think they are harmful? I don't really know about retainers. I think anything that sort of expands your palate out is probably good. But the orthodontics rabbit hole is very deep, man. Honestly, I probably couldn't answer it, but if it's widening your palate, that's probably okay. Walter Disney says, what about hammocks? I personally don't think a hammock would work great for me. I like being straight. Nick says the decompression our bodies experience when the spine straightens is wild. Yeah, I'll never go back to a bed ever again. I take like a nap on a bed sometimes and I hate it. I hate it, man. Zulu says, I'm not sure if your name is Wes, but you have an enjoyable stream. Good information with chill music in the background. It's easy on the brain. Thanks, man. Yes, and that is my name, sir. You got it. Daniel says, does Derek add salt to his food like a Celtic or any other high quality salt? I don't know for sure. I know he is actually doing some different supplements though. He was doing some like, I'd have to double check with him exactly on what it is. Some sort of like crushed up seashells or something, some kind of crazy supplement that's got a lot of micro minerals. I'd have to ask him exactly though, but he was experimenting around with some stuff for sure. But I've never seen him. I ate food with him a few times and I never saw him add salt. Main character says, how to not feel bad about animal consumption? Serious question. I've never felt bad about it. You know? I've never felt bad about it, so I don't know, man. Just you gotta look at it like they were put here for a reason, to serve a purpose, to serve us, and we give them a good life if we're a shepherd, and we shepherd them and we give them a beautiful life in a pasture, and then at the end of their life, We take their life and then we eat them to provide nutrition for us. And it's really giving respect to their purpose on Earth, to provide good nutrition for us. So to look at animals as if they're not supposed to be here for our nutrition, I think is disrespectful towards their purpose. But if you give them a good life on a pasture and take care of them as almost like a pet, and at the end of their life, give them a quick death, very non-traumatic and a quick death, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, and he says, what do you think about consuming animal blood? I had a Christian get mad at me for wanting to try it and said it's sinful to mix our blood with any other creature. How would they know that? Did God tell them that? I think it's bullshit, man. I think the blood thing is bullshit. Christians can get mad at you for everything. And why would they, the thing is why would they get mad at you? You know what I mean? Like, they always find reasons to get mad at people and act like they're holier than thou. But it's obviously a nutritious substance. I've had it many times from animals. It's super nutritious. I'm not a Satanist. I don't follow the devil. I believe in Jesus' teachings, all that stuff. And I will drink blood. So I just doesn't like, this usually comes from people that haven't tried it. You know what I mean? Like, these are people that probably think like raw meat is satanic. So, but if you try blood and you see that it's very nutritious, then it doesn't make sense that someone would say you shouldn't eat it, How long have I been mewing? Did I notice any changes in my face? Not really. I'm not like a hard mewer, but I practice like when I'm just like relaxed, I make sure that my tongue is pushed forward instead of like back in my mouth or other places. And it also helps me like breathe better when I sleep. But I've been doing it for a couple years. I started doing it because I broke my jaw a while back. And when they set my jaw back a little bit. So my jaw should be forward a little bit. And it also has limited mobility because of the way my jaw healed. So I have some issues with my airways sometimes when I'm like sleeping. So I started mewing to help correct that. Do I ever have starch? Yeah, I have like cooked potatoes every once in a while. Mewing is like practicing proper tongue posture in order to correct facial structure and breathing airways. Daniel says, so you just take your pillow and sheet and lay flat down on the floor, or do you use a mattress? I use a camping mat. So it's about this thick. It's like a foam camping mat. I sleep on that. But I have slept on the straight wood floor many times. But yep, I just throw it down and go to sleep, man. Primal Spirit says, I'm eating beef right now. If it's chewy, should I spit it out or just swallow if I can't chew it fully? If it's chewy, then yeah, I just spit it out. I give it to my dogs. If it's like unchewable, maybe you got like a piece of gristle or extra fat in there or something. But it's a really nice day out here today, guys. This is like the first nice day that we've had in like probably all winter. So I'm going to wrap this up here in about 5 minutes. So if you guys got any more questions, fire away. How do I source my meat? I found a lot of places on eatwild.com, local grass-fed farmers, and I buy it from them. Local grass-fed farmers and local organic grass-fed farms. But yeah, just look on eatwild.com. Maybe check out Weston Price Foundation's local chapters. They can point you in the direction towards some good farmers. Get on Facebook and look up local organic farm co-ops around you. Nick says, what's been more impactful, the floor or the Faraday cage? It's hard to say, man. It's hard to say, but probably the floor. It really depends on kind of where you're at. If you're like living in a city, having a Faraday cage would be more impactful. But I think the floor ultimately is what did it. I'm a side sleeper. But I think the Faraday cage helps for sure. K&E says they claimed the Bible says not to mix blood with any creature, but I wonder how they feel about blood donations. Well, who knows what the hell they meant by that in the Bible, though? Like, that sounds like something that got lost in translation. Like, do not mix blood with any creature, to me, probably means, like, don't have sex with animals. You know what I'm saying? I think everything gets lost in translation with Bible stuff. And they're like, no, it said you're not supposed to eat it. Like, no, I think they meant don't have sex with animals. Robot Chicken says, when you cover a jar with a lid, do you spin the lid or the jar? In general, I spin the lid, man. Michael says, salt helps with GERD. No, I do not sleep on my back. I'm a side sleeper. Alright, y'all, it's a beautiful day out. Go out and get some sunshine. Take your shirt off. Take your shoes off. Put your feet in the grass. Get some sun. I appreciate y'all showing up. Those are good questions today. We'll see you most likely next Monday, guys. And then after that, I'm going on vacation, so I might take a little break for a week. But I'll see you next Monday. Take it easy, y'all.